Whether you work out in the morning or at night, it really doesn't matter. What it really comes down to is your own time management skills and your personal preferences. What's up everyone, David here. Got a new video for y'all today, but before we get into it, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any new videos. Because remember, new videos on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so don't miss out. Now for today, we're gonna be talking about the specific time in which you work out. Right away, I'm gonna say I am a morning person. I always work out in the morning, but I cannot stand when I see all these people posting their morning routines, as ridiculous as it may be, and realistically as unproductive and time wasting as it is, when they think they're better than someone else just because they got the workout done before other people. They always post something like, up before the competition. Bro, who's your competition? You're not competing in anything. You're not an athlete. You're working out. It's a very individualized genre of fitness just to work out and go to the gym. You're on your own. Better than everyone while the rest of the world is sleeping, I'm here putting in this work. Okay, good for you. The reason why you're putting in work that early in the morning is because that's when it fits in best with your schedule. Or if you choose to sleep in, then are you really that committed? No, maybe some people, they work the night shift. Maybe the only chance they get to sleep is actually in the morning or during the day. So you see, it's very individualized. I just can't stand when the morning people think that they're better than the evening people. At the end of the day, whether you wake up really early in the morning or you wake up really late into the evening, we're all awake at the same time. We're all awake for what, 12, 15, 18 hours a day? At the end of the day, as long as you get these workouts done, all right, perfect. And as long as you stay committed to the same schedule every single day, then what's the issue? There's been times when I've worked out in the evening. Okay, that was when I was a student. Long day of class, only chance I got to work out was very consistently in the evening. Perfect. Nowadays, workout before work, all right, and then long hours of shifts. All right, perfect. Whatever it is, I just stay consistent with that. I don't skip workouts, and realistically, that's what it comes down to. But so many people want to get caught up in maximizing the amount of results that they get, and they want to know whether it's better to work out in the morning or work out in the evening going on into nighttime. At the end of the day, whatever time that you work out, it's got its pros and cons, as does anything else with life. It's just a matter of just fitting it in where you can. So for the sake of this video, I'm gonna be explaining to you what I perceive to be pros and cons. For some of you, they may not be pros. For some of you, they may not be cons. And just pretty much giving you what are some things that you could possibly face depending on what time of the day you decide to work out. Now, starting off bright and early in the morning, this is my own personal preference of working out, mainly because I just got used to it. I used to work out really late into the evening, but over the course of years, I just found out, you know what, it's my number one priority. It's my biggest task of the day. I gotta get this in, which is one of the pros of working out early in the morning is you get it out the way, so there's less risk of you actually just skipping that workout as a whole. I guarantee many of you, especially during those beginning phases, you start off working out in the afternoon or the evening or at night, and you say, you know what, I'm just gonna go after school. You know what, I'm gonna go after work. But let's be completely honest. How many of you had times where you just skipped it because you're just too tired? After a long day, I'm just gonna go home. I'm gonna take it easy. I'll just go back tomorrow. And then tomorrow never happens. And next thing you know, you're just skipping out on your workouts. If you work out in the morning, it's a good way to ensure that the workout actually gets done because it's the very first thing you do in the day before you clock in for work, before you go into class. Whatever it is that you gotta do throughout the day, if it's really that important, if it's that much of a priority to you, go ahead and get it done first thing in the morning. And not only that, second benefit of working in the morning, it just sets the tone for the rest of the day. You wake up before everyone else and you get a good hard workout in, you're already being productive. You don't mean to tell me all that positive, all those wins are gonna lead up and carry you on throughout the rest of the day? Obviously it will. If you go through a brutal, heavy leg workout and everything is just firing and everything is being the way it should, oh man, you're just gonna be in a good mood for the rest of the day. It's just those endorphins that you develop when you work out in the morning. Perfect. On top of that, if you're someone who works out outdoors, and keep in mind, these workouts don't even have to be with weights or in a typical gym. If you're someone who likes to do yoga, likes to go run, likes to go out to whatever it is, if it's outdoors, the sunlight exposure, the early morning sunlight that you get, oh, that's just gonna have more health benefits. We're talking about natural vitamin D from the sunlight. You get it in your eyes. It's gonna help reset your circadian rhythm, your biological 24-hour clock. It's gonna set the tone for the next 24 hours for your sleep schedule to get on track. There's just so many health benefits. Look it up. Getting early morning sunlight, perfect. Luckily for me, I get the best of both worlds. I get to work out with weights, but I'm not indoors. It's in the backyard, so I get that morning sunlight, so I'm constantly just getting exposure to that vitamin D. My circadian rhythm, my sleep schedule, perfect. All because I chose to work out early in the morning. Another huge plus is, keep in mind, a lot of people are tired in the morning. They might not want to wake up. Maybe they just want to keep snuggling in bed. Maybe they want to oversleep. Maybe they just want to keep bed rotting. The gym will be empty. If you go in the evening, it's going to be packed. But if you work out in the morning, it's going to be a lot emptier. So you're going to get a chance to actually follow your workout program as intended. If you say you're going to go in and you're going to start off with lat pull downs, all right, in the morning, pretty sure the machine's going to be open. Compared to going in the evening, everyone's using every cable machine, or you can't find the attachment because someone else is using it. It's just better likelihood to actually stick to whatever program it is that you're committing to, because there's less risk of someone actually utilizing whatever it is that you're trying to use. So again, me personally, I like working out in the morning. I got used to it, but it's not all sunshines and rainbows. Sometimes, you know, you will feel tired. I mean, there's always gonna be cons to everything. Sometimes in the morning, oh man, it could be a little rough. There's been times when, especially on those cold weather days, it's dark, it's raining outside. Sometimes I've just had to force myself to get up that early in the morning, despite it being cold, and it just, you know, you really want to fight the urge to just stay in bed, you can't. But because you force yourself to get up so early, sometimes when you go to the gym, you can't push as hard, because again, you're just still so groggy, you're still just getting acclimated to being awake. It could be rough, but you know what? If you oversleep, then you run the risk of working out in the evening, which if that's your preference, you don't mind, go for it. But just know in the morning, you might be just a little bit more tired. Just how you're tired in the evening after a long day of work, sometimes in the morning you're just tired because you just spent 8 hours knocked out. On top of that, you might be a little bit weaker in the morning. If you're someone like myself who trains for strength, then it may not always be best to work out in the morning. I personally do it just because I got used to it, but you typically will be a little bit stronger in the evening. In the morning, you're a little weaker because you just were so immobile. You were just asleep for 7, 8, 9 hours. You're so stiff. You're not as loose. That might affect the exercises you do in the gym. If you're pretty stiff and pretty loose, you might have to spend some extra time warming up for your workout so you can hit full depth on those squats. So that way you can loosen up those shoulders so you can go all the way down. It doesn't hurt your shoulders on bench press. You also don't have as many meals in you. Some of you may not have a big appetite when you wake up in the morning. I know personally, I don't have a big appetite, so sometimes those extra calories can be extra fuel to power you through a workout. But again, you could always acclimate to it. When I first started working in the morning, it was pretty rough. I felt a lot smaller, I felt a lot weaker, I wasn't hungry, so obviously I had no fuel to actually get me through the workout. But over years of staying consistent with it, I stuck it through and I got used to it, and now I enjoy it. Training for strength, I could easily wake up in the morning, deadlift 4 plates. I could easily roll out of bed, a couple minutes later, change, get ready, drink some chocolate milk, go outside, rep out 315, bench 2 plates, whatever it may be. You will get used to whatever structure it is that you're putting yourself through. A couple hours later, and now we're approaching the evening, going on to nighttime. Now, I'm just gonna go ahead and group this as just saying right around, let's just say 5 o'clock on, leading up into the nighttime. Again, evening/night. Absolutely nothing wrong with working out during these times. Again, what it really comes down to is your own time management. If you overslept in the morning and you didn't get a chance to work out then, well, obviously, what other time are you gonna get throughout the day? You probably can't do it in the middle of the day, because many of you, you're either students, you know, you're in class all day, or you have a full-time job, 8 hours, sitting in the office, whatever it is that you do for work. Realistically, the only other time you're gonna get throughout the day is gonna be once you get off work. Whether you do it immediately after work, let's just say 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, anything within that range, or way into the evening, going into just nighttime. Now we're looking at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 p.m., whatever it may be. There's absolutely nothing wrong with working out with these times. Now, what are some of the pros and cons with it? I personally lean a little bit more towards the morning, like I've already previously said. But there are times where I just don't get a chance to do so, and I have no choice but to do it in the evening. And it's pretty late. I mean, as you can tell, it's already pretty dark right now. It's 8 o'clock going on 9. It's late. Now, some of the benefits though, the very few times that I actually do decide to work out this late at night, I have noticed I do feel a lot stronger. And that's really good for me because I'm someone who prioritizes strength. I don't necessarily train so much for hypertrophy, building muscle, aesthetics. I'm not really doing it for looks. I'm doing it for performance, getting stronger, lifting heavier. In the evening, I just tend to find myself just feeling stronger. Part of the reason could be I've had more meals in me. You ever look at the strongest athletes? They also tend to be eating the most. You look at the biggest, strongest guys, they also have the biggest appetites. So obviously it makes sense that the later on it is in the day that you work out, the more meals you're gonna eat throughout the day, the more your frame starts to fill in, the more calories you got, the more energy you got. All of this is gonna be pointing towards a better workout. So again, if you're someone who's training for strength, then okay, by all means, go towards the evening. You will definitely feel a lot stronger and maybe perform a little bit better in the evening compared to working out in the morning. Another great benefit to working out at night is maybe you won't feel as rushed. I personally, I just got so used to the fact of working out in the morning, but there are days where, man, I just really want to sleep. Sometimes I just wake up super tired and have no choice. I have to force myself to wake up. And the fact that I procrastinated and just decided to sleep just so 30 minutes extra in bed in the morning, that's 30 minutes that's costed and taken away from my workout. So because of that, now the very limited time I do have, I have to rush it. I have to superset everything. I just got to go from leg extensions to back extensions. I just have to go ahead and go from bench press to one arm rows. I have to superset and just go back and forth with everything because I can't be taking my time in the morning. I gotta go to work right after. So are you really thinking I'm gonna be sitting there just taking my time, taking a full rest break in between sets in the morning, especially when I just costed myself valuable time by deciding to sleep in? When I work out in the evening, I don't have to worry about any of that. Because what else am I gonna do? I don't have to clock in after this. I don't have to go commute anywhere. After this, all I gotta do is just eat a protein shake, shower up, go to bed. I don't feel as rushed. I feel like I'm working out in a little bit more calmer state. I feel like I could take my time, which again, really works out if you're someone who's training for strength, because you want to adequately rest in between sets if you're working with top numbers and all those big lifts. You're heavy squatting, you're deadlifting, you're pressing, you're rowing. So again, I just found that working out in the evenings, I'm a little bit more relaxed. I don't feel the need to have to superset everything. I don't feel like I have to get everything done right away, because again, I have nothing to do after this. My day is done essentially at the end of this. Last positive, and realistically for certain people it could be a positive, but for certain people it could be a negative, and we'll get to that point. So it's gonna be the last point that segues before we reach into the cons, is if you work out at the end of the day, you're just tiring yourself out more. That last bit of energy you have after a full day of working or going to class, whatever it is that you do during the day, all right, that last bit of energy, you're just burning it out in the gym. You're gonna get a good night's rest. You're gonna be just so tired at the end of that gym session, so tired of waking up early in the morning, putting 8 hours in the classroom, 8 hours at work, now 2 hours in the gym. At the end of the day, exhausted. Ooh, you're gonna knock out. You're gonna get some real good deep sleep. But on the flip side, and perfectly leading into those cons, what if you can't go to sleep? That could be one of the downsides of actually working out in the evening at night, is you might not be able to go to sleep because of the pre-workout. Not necessarily because of the workout itself, but the caffeine you take. You got to keep in mind, caffeine, any dosage, any amount that you're taking, 100 milligrams, 200, 300, 400, whatever it may be, it's got a half-life of 6 hours. So if you're someone who, let's just say, right after you get off work at 5:30 and you decide, I'm gonna go hit the gym, but I need a little pick-me-up, I'm gonna go ahead and have some caffeine, whether it be a coffee, an energy drink, or pre-workout, whatever it is, just keep in mind that caffeine might power you through the workout and give you the energy you need to actually push the iron hard, which is good, get those gains, but it may not wear out completely in time before you actually have to go to sleep. Keep in mind, some of that caffeine can still be in your system, and when you have an excessive amount of caffeine still running through your blood, you really think you're gonna be able to fall asleep? Just to put in perspective, the half-life is 6 hours, right around 6 hours. Realistically, 5 to 7, meet in the middle, 6. So if you decide to take some 12-ounce cans, they're realistically 200 milligrams, a Celsius, an Alani, a Ghost, any one of those, you get the idea. Take it at 6 p.m. right off of work, okay? That's 200 milligrams of caffeine in your system, enough to get you through a good workout. But 6 hours later, cut it in half, that's how much caffeine is in your system. So 6 hours after 6 p.m., now we're looking at midnight, you're down to 100 milligrams of caffeine. Cut it in half again, it's just constant half-life. Now you're looking at 6 a.m. the following day. Now what was 100, cut it in half, now you still have the 50 milligrams. So you see, although working on the evening could lead to a good night's rest because you're tiring yourself out, you also gotta be timing that caffeine intake a little bit more. So you gotta be a little smart about that. So that's why I said that one could be either a pro or a con. Now, 100% con to working out in the evening or at night is now there's no way to ditch the crowd. Just like you, working out after work, the rest of the world decides to get off work and they're gonna wanna go to the gym as well. It's gonna be packed. At least in the morning, the gym is empty. In the evening, it's gonna be full. I mean, again, at the end of the day, if that's the only time that you have to work out, by all means, you gotta do what you gotta do, but just know whatever workout program you have written, that might not be the one you actually do once you get it. Because what you had planned, let's just say you want to go ahead and do some type of bench press. Well, if you go in the evening, there, all the bench presses are full because the rest of the world is there as well. All the high schoolers are hogging up the bench presses. All the fit chicks are hogging up the squat racks. Everyone's there at the same time, so it's gonna be hard for you to find whatever equipment it is that you need for that day's specific workout. Another downside, and this is realistically going back to, again, the sleep. A lot of the downsides are really gonna come down to affecting your sleep quality. Because if you're working out this late into the day, what's the only thing you have left to do during that day? Is to go to bed. But if you're properly hydrating, drinking enough water as you should, not just for the workout itself, but throughout the rest of the day, you shouldn't just be waiting until the 1 hour of the day that you work out to drink all your water. You should be drinking water all day long. But let's be honest, if you're someone like me and you sweat a lot, you're gonna be drinking even more so during the workout. And if you work out a little bit later during the day, it's going to affect your sleep quality because you're going to be wanting to get up in the middle of the night or every couple hours to go to the bathroom. And when it comes to making gains, we want to prioritize that sleep as much as possible. We see the results, the better that we recover. Our muscles actually grow when we're resting. So the last thing we want to do is disrupt that sleep, because essentially what we're doing now is disrupting the quality of gains that we'll be making. Because again, once we go into the gym, all we're doing by lifting weights, we're not actually building up the muscle. No, we're creating the stimulus to kickstart the process of building muscle. And that process is happening when we rest, when we recover. That's why it is important to get adequate amounts of sleep. But if we're constantly getting up to go to the bathroom because you just drank so much water a couple hours earlier, well, I'm not saying that you won't make gains. You obviously still will. It's just how much of it. And when it comes to little things like this, we really want to maximize every little thing that we can to see the most bang for our buck, to see the most amount of gains we possibly could. So there you have it, everyone. Working out in the morning. Is it good? Yes. Does it have its cons? Obviously. Working out in the evening or at nighttime. Is there good and bad? Obviously. Just figure out what is a consistent time that you can hit the gym each day so you don't skip your workouts. Whatever that consistent time is, stick with it. Just stop skipping workouts as a whole. If you want to work out before you go to work or before you go to class, go for it. If some days you want to work out in the evening or at night after you get off work or after you get out of class, all right, whatever it may be, just fit it in where you can. Everyone's daily routine is going to be different. Everyone's schedule is different. We all have different responsibilities. It's just a matter of getting it done and just staying consistent over a long period of time. Hopefully this video was helpful. Comment down below any other pros or cons that maybe I didn't list to working out at various points of the day. Let's try to help each other out. Also, comment down below any other video suggestions you'd like to see me do, whether it be about mindset, motivation, nutrition, diets, workouts, programs, whatever it is, comment down below. I'd be more than happy to help y'all out. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you miss out on any new videos. Because remember, new videos on this channel are Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So don't miss out. And then Instagram and TikTok, same thing. Be sure to follow me on both accounts. I put all my links down in the description below. With that being said, I'll catch y'all next time.